Welcome back to 3D Cars, the place where muscle meets metal, and history lives on four wheels. Today, we're diving deep into an absolute American icon. One of the most recognizable silhouettes in the world of classic cars. We're talking about the 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback S-Code, a car that screams power, style, and rebellion. This isn't just any Mustang. The 67 Fastback is what car dreams are made of. It was the first major redesign since the Mustang launched in 1964, and Ford didn't hold back. This version was wider, more aggressive, and had a stance that meant business. But what makes the S-Code stand out? That 390 cubic inch big block V8 sitting under the hood. Yeah, we're talking real power, 320 horses of it, straight from the factory. That engine made the South Code the street king before GT 500s and Boss 429s took the crown. Let's get into the design. The 67 Fastback body lines are just perfection. You've got that long, sweeping roofline that tapers down beautifully into the trunk. It's the kind of shape that even people who don't care about cars stop and stare at. The front grille is wide and bold, flanked by inset headlights that give the car a menacing stare. The twin scoop hood wasn't just for looks, it hinted at what was lurking underneath. Side vents added flair, while the GT package added fog lamps, dual exhaust with chrome tips, and styled steel wheels. Slide into the cabin, and it's all 1960s muscle magic. The cockpit feels like a throwback to a time when driving was an experience. Bucket seats, a deep dish steering wheel, and a dual-pod instrument cluster that put everything important right in your face. Even the radio, knobs, and switches have that old-school tactile feel that modern cars just don't deliver. It's simple, raw, and purposeful, no touchscreens here, just the sound of that V8 and the smell of burning rubber. Speaking of sound, when you turn the key and fire up the 390, the rumble is deep and angry. It doesn't just start, it roars. The four-barrel carb opens up, the exhaust burbles and crackles, and suddenly, you're not just driving, you're commanding. The torque hits almost instantly, and when you mash the pedal, the rear wheels light up without hesitation. That's the kind of thrill you don't forget. It's why the 67 S-Code became a legend. This car isn't just famous because of its specs, though. Pop culture helped seal the deal. You can't talk about the 1967 Mustang Fastback without mentioning Bullitt. Steve McQueen made the 1968 version legendary in that film, but it was based on this very design. That same fastback body style, that same muscle attitude. The S-Code walked so Bullitt could run. Now let's talk performance. The S-Code 390 was more than a straight-line bruiser. Paired with either a 4-speed manual or C6 automatic transmission, and optional heavy-duty suspension, the car handled better than most of its rivals. With power disc brakes up front and a solid rear axle, it gave drivers a sense of control while still being wild enough to demand respect. What's fascinating about the S-Code is how rare it's become. Sure, Mustangs were mass-produced, but S-Code fastbacks were built in far fewer numbers than the standard coupes or six-cylinder versions. Today, finding one in original condition, especially one with a matching numbers drivetrain, is like finding gold. They've become collector treasures, and the prices reflect that. Restored models often cross six figures at auction. And if it's a GT package S-Code, even more. But owning one of these isn't just about resale value. It's about owning a piece of automotive history. It's about stepping back in time every time you hit the road. No traction control, no apps, no driving aids. Just you, the machine, and the open road. It forces you to be present, to listen to the engine, to feel the tires. That's what real driving is all about. The 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback S-Code represents a time when American muscle was reaching its peak. It wasn't built for comfort. It wasn't built to be efficient. It was built to dominate. To show off. To make a statement. And decades later, it still does. Whether you're a die-hard Ford fan, a muscle car lover, or someone who just appreciates automotive artistry, the 67 S-Code Fastback is the kind of machine that leaves a mark. You don't just look at it. You remember it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the greatest Mustangs ever made, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for more classics brought to you by 3D Cars. We've got more legends coming your way. Stay tuned, stay loud, and keep those engines running. Closing shot. The Mustang tears off down a country road, V8 roaring into the sunset, 3D car's logo appears with engine sound fading out.